As you are probably aware, it is pretty gloomy at the moment because today is the day after the solstice and the second day of the new world. Now, I wanted to talk about Christmas in space today. First of all, astronauts have actually spent Christmas in space, and in fact there are some astronauts on the International Space Station who are going to be spending Christmas in space this year. The Apollo 8 crew spent Christmas in space, and they read the first chapters of Genesis over the Catcom, and people heard them and they got wished a Merry Christmas. In 1973, the Christmas in space was from Skylab 4 crew, and they made this Christmas tree out of cans. What is Christmas? Well, I suppose what I'm actually talking about is Saturnalia, i.e. the day 4 days after the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere. So the way I'm going to define it is I'm going to say it's 4 rotations of the planet after the point of the shortest day in the northern hemisphere of that planet. Now, first of all, on Mercury, it's actually Christmas Day every day, and in certain parts of Mercury it's actually a white Christmas every day. This is because Mercury takes 176 days to rotate on its axis relative to the Sun, and it takes 88 days to go round. So this means that there is no day which is not 4 days after the winter solstice on that planet, except that it doesn't really have a solstice because it's very sort of upright. So it doesn't have variation in the length of day or whatever. Near the poles, because of that uprightness, there are shadows that are there all the time. So as a result, whereas the day side of Mercury is generally hot enough to melt lead at about 400 degrees centigrade, the night side of Mercury is very cold, and the bits in shadow are actually icy. You could spend every day on Mercury and call it Christmas, and it would also be a white Christmas in certain craters such as Chao-Meng-Fu. Now, on Venus, the day is 143 days long, and so again every day is Christmas because the year is only 225 days long. Now, people get Venus wrong, as I've mentioned before. The thing about Venus is that it's not really a Earth-type planet. It's actually a mini gas giant in a way, and if you go with all the single parent families that exist in the upper atmosphere, it would actually be quite nice. It wouldn't be a white Christmas, but it would be a yellow Christmas because of the sulfur in the atmosphere and so forth. And so yeah, every day is Christmas on Venus as well. Mars. The day is 37 minutes longer than it is here, but you only get Christmas half the time. Now, Christmas is actually, this Martian year is on the 12th of March 2013 according to our reckoning. That's actually 213 according to the Martian calendar, the Darian calendar, and it would last 37 minutes longer. So you have a fairly Earth-like Christmas on Mars. It has snow in the form of carbon dioxide freezing and falling onto the poles, for example, but it isn't ice snow, it isn't water ice snow. Okay, now as far as Jupiter is concerned, basically there is no Christmas on Jupiter. This is because Jupiter is almost upright in the same way as Mercury and Venus are, and as a result the planet doesn't have season. If there was a Christmas, it would last about 10 hours and it would happen once every 11.86 years, so it wouldn't be a very exciting place. Saturn. As you can see from the Christmas card, Saturn is tilted and therefore it does have seasons, and but it has a different complication. The day lasts between 10 and 11 hours depending on what part of the atmosphere you're looking at, because Saturn, being a gas giant, doesn't orbit in one piece. It actually orbits in several pieces, and so it will be between 10 and 11 hours, and it's not exactly certain when it is, and the next time it happens will be in 2032. It won't be happening on the day of Tethys Turlington's honeymoon, which is in any case on Enceladus. Uranus. On Uranus, the next Christmas will be in 2049 and it will last till 2091. This is because Uranus rotates on its side like that, and as a result is pointing away, for the one northern pole will be pointing away from the Sun for 42 years, and then gradually turn round and point towards the Sun for 42 years. So Christmas on Uranus happens about half the year and lasts 42 years, the whole year being 84 years. And finally on Neptune, Christmas occurred for 16 hours on the 28th of February 1997, and it won't occur for another 165 years. So where's your best bet to spend Christmas? I think probably Mercury or Venus, I suppose, because it's Christmas all the time there, so that's where you need to go. Anyway, Merry Christmas.
Ah, sorry Pluto.